Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Immortals of Aveum is the first title which supports FSR 3 on console, and of course I was very curious about this update. Is there any difference in regards of picture quality? And of course the most important question is there any improvement in regards of performance? And before we now going into more details, let me say one thing. The more I played Immortals of Aveum, the better I liked the game. I don't know what it is, but at some point I just couldn't stop playing, and yeah, I just started to really enjoy the game. So maybe it's about the very simple gameplay, and that's what I like the most, because you know, simple minds need simple gameplay. And now, jokes aside, let's start talking about the FSR 3 update in Immortals of Aveum. And please keep in mind, I just focused on the PlayStation 5 version in this video. At this very moment, I can't verify if there is a difference between the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X version in regards of picture or performance improvement. I just can't verify it, but usually both consoles are pretty much on the same level. And when we're now looking into the option menu, what we have in Immortals of Aveum, we can see we have now a toggle switch for frame generation on off. So please do me a favor and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that FSR 3 and frame generation is actually a complete different story. So FSR 3 doesn't need or necessarily includes frame generation. That's an option what we can have on top. So that means even without turning on frame generation right now, I would expect actually some sort of improvement in the game. And as always, I prepared a side-by-side comparison to see if there's any improvement in regards of the picture quality. And what we can see here right now is the game before the update and after the update, but without frame generation turned on. I will leave it up to you if you can spot any difference. And now we do the same again. We're looking at the game before the update and after the update, but now we're turning on frame generation. And now let's talk about performance. Was there any improvement in regards of performance before and after the patch without frame generation turned on? And as far as I can tell, no. And if we're now comparing the exact same scene, but now with frame generation turned on, you can actually see we have now a perfect stable 60 FPS experience. But if you think that this is now the solution to play the game, unfortunately, I think you're wrong. Turning on frame generation in Immortals of Aveum is in my opinion a very bad idea, at least on the PlayStation 5 where I tested the game. And the reason why I would not recommend to use frame generation in Immortals of Aveum is simple, because frame generation is actually adding a lot of artifacts to the picture, and despite the fact that we have more or less a perfect 60 FPS experience according to my analysis, the game never felt smooth. And on top, when you enable frame generation, you also increase the input lag significantly. The whole game actually feels absolutely worse when you enable this option. I can just recommend, do not use frame generation in Immortals of Aveum, but what I would recommend is make sure you use VRR, verbal refresh rate, on a capable screen. Okay, my friends, so that's it for this video, and what should I say? I'm not very happy about this update. I'm not very convinced about this update. I mean, it's not actually what I was expecting. I was expecting probably way too much. I mean, turning on frame generation is just a very bad idea. I'm not sure if this is just in this game or maybe it's a general problem of frame generation. I'm not quite sure, but again, there is not much of an update actually, because when we're taking out frame generation, then there is nothing left. And the difference between FSR 3 and the upscaling technology before, I don't know if it was FSR 1 or FSR 2, there's actually not much of a difference, or I hardly can see any difference. So I don't know what the update is for. The only thing what I know is that with a previous update they actually added HDR, which is a very good thing, because HDR, and you should watch my video about that, is actually pretty good in this game. So again, this is a little bit of disappointment in my opinion, but despite the fact, I still like the game. It's actually fun. I mean, it's not a perfect AAA game, but I had fun playing this game. So again, let me know in the comment section what you think about this update, if you enjoyed the game, and do me a favor, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.